meteorology segment, starting out with the NASA GOES lightning mapper. And here is the last about 6 hours of lightning. You can see major lightning here over places like Texas and Arkansas and Mississippi, Alabama, also North Dakota and northern Minnesota. A little bit in New York also, east of Lake Erie. Here's a real-time lightning map from lightningmaps.org. And we still see some active lightning there in North Dakota and Minnesota. The main lightning strikes happening here west of Dallas. Hey, Eastland, there's thunder rolling in. Next time you hear thunder, check out lightningmaps.org. It could save your bacon. And here at smAshomash.com, we prefer your bacon to be saved or eaten by us. Next, looking at the jet streams here. It's nullschool.net's 250 hectopascal winds to see the jet stream blowing straight up backwards over the central Indian Ocean. We've got two different jet streams here. One's blowing the normal direction, as you can see here, west to east. And closer to the equator, the jet stream blowing east to west, aka backwards. Extreme meridional jet stream flow here as well, over places like eastern Australia. Here are the surface winds of the eastern world. Powerful cyclonic system here off of the coast of Western Australia there. Already showing winds at about 50 miles per hour. There's a reading of 53 miles per hour. Anyway, looking at the surface winds of the western world, there are they. There are those. There are those who don't know jack about meteorology, but talk about it anyway. Next, looking at the jet streams of the western world, and look at how incoherent they are over places like the Atlantic Ocean and indeed the U.S. You've got this one band of legit jet stream up here, and all the rest is just all over the place. Looks more like Charlie Brown's shirt than it does a coherent set of jet streams. Tripled up jet streams in the southern hemisphere as well. The jet streams are pretty jacked up right now. Yowzers. Next, looking at pressure cells. And you can see the northwestern portion of the U.S. dominated by one single low-pressure system. I would also note this extremely powerful low-pressure system right here down at the southern tip of South America. And once again, the weirdest place, one of the weirdest places in the world is this area right here. This little channel. This little channel is where the entire Atlantic and Pacific Ocean must equalize their pressure. It's just a weird place, and we've got a very powerful low just to the west of that. Anyway, let's advance the pressure map here. Here's where we expect pressure to be according to the Euro forecast at 1 o'clock Eastern Daylight Time, as that low pressure system stretches out across that strait, which is, by the way, the most dangerous piece of ocean in the world. Are you surprised that the place where the Atlantic and Pacific Ocean must equalize their pressure is a violent place to be? If you're sailing a ship through there, leave us a comment. By the way, we're expecting some pretty heavy rains here in places like northeastern Minnesota and northern North Dakota. Also, lots of rain for the entire eastern portion of the country here. That forecast model there showing the GFS forecast through Friday, June 11th at 6 o'clock Universal Time, which would be 1 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time. Next, looking at the U.S. Doppler radar map. We don't do world weather yet. It's coming because we will eventually go full-time with the channel. Strong storms streaking across northern Texas here, as well as moving northeast out of Mississippi into Alabama and into Tennessee. Here's what's going on in the cloud layer. I would also note this massive area of moisture up here. It'll be more obvious on the water vapor map, and you can see that massive atmospheric lake up there, larger than Lake Superior. And this dry mass of air down here is constraining things. This dry mass of air over here is constraining things as well. It's why the jet stream is blowing due south along the east coast of the U.S. And here's the recap. There is the U.S. Doppler radar map. Some very powerful storms here just moving into northeastern Minnesota right now, east of Lake Superior. And there's going to be some extremely violent seas over Lake Superior. The pressure is going to drop right off of a cliff. Anyway, there's the cloud layer. Once again, it's a 3.9 nanometer NASA GOES interactive weather satellite, and there is the NASA GOES interactive weather satellite water vapor map. Hope that helps give you some insight into the meteorology of the current situation. That's today's meteorology segment. Thanks for tuning in, and bye-bye Twitch. We're headed back to the daily space weather.